I went to watch my brother train, and he was playing football. He's a little bit older than me. My dad took me along to one of his training sessions, and I can't exactly remember who, but somebody gave me a pair of boots that night and they fitted me, and I went straight home into the garden and was amazed with this football boot, my first one. Yeah, I was in goal. I think one game we played an older team once and we lost 12-14-0, and that was the end of that. And then, to be fair, up until the age of 12, 13, I sort of played up front before it went into full 11-a-side. No, a little bit earlier than that actually, but yeah, before it went 11-a-side, I used to play up front for my local team back home in Newport, and had a decent little goal ratio. Andy Legg obviously at left back. Yeah, and I was just a massive Cardiff fan, so any players around that time. But I think Kavanagh was always the one that stood out for me, being captain and stuff. Not that, like I said, that didn't relate to anything to when I was on the pitch, but just as a general football fan, try and get to watch Cardiff as much as I could. So he was probably my favourite player at that time. My brother was a massive Man United fan at the time. Obviously the Champions League final, when they came back and won. I was well into football then, obviously. I think obviously in just say years, it's obviously been a long time now, but I think even going forward, that'll always be one. The way that it happened was unbelievable, really. Not one thing that stands out. Probably as Neil Taylor said, in years to come, I think that night in Bosnia will always be one that people will look back on, and it'll be nice to say that, as a group we were part of that. 24 I was addicted to at one point. Obviously Breaking Bad, I think everybody's seen. What else has there been? Yeah, when I get into it, that's me, so hopefully House of Cards takes off, and hopefully there's a lot of spare time and I'll need another one. And that means we've obviously done really well. Andrew Taylor, who was on loan to Reading for the last season, we went and played snooker quite a lot. It's literally down the road, so really enjoy snooker, as boring as that sounds. I said it would be Mumford & Sons, the very first one. Me and Rambo actually went to Glastonbury years ago when they were playing on the Friday night, and that is the best live performance from a band or artist that I've seen. If we win the Euros, I'll play myself. Yeah, I'd like to relive that. Having a go at trying to be a manager. I think when you're playing, you always think of managers you've played under and try and learn stuff from them and things you would and wouldn't do. So yeah, being a manager, and if that doesn't go down too well, then I'll try and be a coach if someone will have me. We had such a good record going into it, and so I was going to say it would be nice if we could have done it that night, having drawn or won the game, but looking back, it didn't really matter, and maybe in a way it was the way it happened, obviously with the gaffer walking off towards the tunnel and then we sort of finding out that split sort of minute of knowing we didn't, having lost, I think we'll remember for the rest of our lives. And yeah, that sort of 10-15 minutes on the pitch in front of the away fans, and then the change room's always a really good place to be after such a high. You're around the people that have worked so hard for such a long time. It's nice to share those sort of hour or so with them in a changing room, and then we all went to bed at 11 o'clock early with a cup of tea after the game, so yeah. But no, that was yeah. No, and that, I think, just as a whole thing, that package will stay with us for the rest of our lives, and we worked really hard for that, and it was right that we was all together to celebrate, and I think it was nice in a way that it was done away from home in front of some of our most loyal fans who have been following Wales for years.